Alright, so we were discussing about why a lot of people become highly successful in life and a lot of people do not become successful. In fact, we come across a lot of places when people say, you know what, I work very, very hard. Technically, I'm very strong. I can resolve a lot of problems. But the guy who does not know anything like that, he just knows how to talk, he succeeds. And a lot of times we understand that it happens is because of lack of assertiveness in us. Now, what is assertiveness? If I can simply show you by a graph, then there are a set of people who whatever their boss says or whatever they are said, even if they want to say no, what is their answer? I will try. I will try. For example, if let's say that one of their uncles comes to them and invites them for their daughter's wedding. They know that Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock they cannot come to that wedding is because they have their meeting at that time. They'll look at the card. They'll say, wow. Uncle will be like, you have to come. And our man will be like, I'll try. And it is understood that when people around us say, I will try, we assume that he is telling he will not come. Say, beta, zarur aana. Main try karunga, uncle. Which basically means uncle also knows that you're not going to come. Right. So that is called passive nature. You want to say no, but you're not able to say no. There are a lot of reasons why we become passive, but yes, the first thing is becoming very, very passive. There is also a time when there are also people who are extremely aggressive. You tell them anything, they will just come back to you with full force. You tell them, can you help me do this? No. Okay. You tell them anything, they will be extremely rude to you. For example, you would have seen a lot of aggressive bosses. I want you to do this. I don't know how you will do that, but you should do it. In fact, the strangest statement a boss can make is this. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. But if you do not know how to do it, how are you expecting me to do it? But anyway, those are called aggressive people. And nobody likes them. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes hanging around with aggressive people who really, push you in a very negative way. Now, what happens is if you are very, very passive, and most of us are passive, if you are extremely passive, the result of being passive is that you do not know how to oppose things and you start building the pressure. And I'll give you some real-time examples. A passive person will not know how to defend himself in the office, so he'll come back home with the entire pressure, and the pressure stays there, and he takes out this pressure on his family. A lot of us do that, right? A passive person will always take out pressure on people who he knows he's stronger than. For example, if I'm stronger than my wife, if I'm stronger than my children, I'm stronger than my pets, I will come and, try to show my strength in front of them. I'll simply, I'll either hit my children or be rude to them. I'll be rude to my wife. I'll shout at them. It's because I'm a very passive guy. I cannot take challenges with like strength people or people higher than me. So I want to boss over people who are lesser than me. And if you are one among them who actually goes ahead, comes back from the office and are trying to, being rude towards your family or your children or whoever, tell yourself you're acting passive. You're taking somebody's anger on somebody which is not right. So that's passive. Aggressive is more like, murdering people. This is more like, going ahead and doing suicide. Aggressive is murdering people. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes to hang around with you. But there are, if I say this is 90% of the people, this is 9% of the people, but there's 1% of the people in between who are assertive people. Only 1%. They are highly, highly successful people. You see, all leaders, majority of them would be assertive. Assertive is the art of telling no the way it is to be told. It's very simple. Passive guy will never be able to say no. He'll say, I will try. Let me see. Oh, I will try my level best, sir. Even if they don't do, their boss will shout at them and they'll be like, no, I tried my level best, but... Don't become passive. Don't become passive in life. I have lost a lot of good things in my life because of being passive. I was extremely passive. I could let anybody take me for a ride. Anybody. Whether he's my junior, most of the times, if you are a passive person, and if you're reporting to an aggressive boss, you're killed. You're literally killed. I had a boss, let me tell you this, I had a boss. This guy, the first day, he will call me to his cabin and say, hey Faheem, can you just inform the chai guy, the office boy, to get me some chai? And he'll be like, can you please inform him? And you will be like, because you're a passive guy, you want to be good, you want to please everyone. Have you seen these people who say, I want to please everybody in my life? Oh, I want to be good to everybody. You're weak, man. If you're telling that you want to be good, everybody should be happy with me, you are just weak. When you grow up, when you're successful, you will have people who will go ahead and oppose you. There will be people who will be jealous of you. I come across people who I have not even seen in my life, or it's been years that I met them. My school friends, clearly they'll be irritated with what I speak. They'll not agree to my points. You know why? Clear jealousy. Leave them. Don't try to please everyone. You stand by your point. Like they say, there are 3 million males in the world, very few men. You're a man. Stand for your rights. Stand by your principles. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about my boss. So the first day, I was like, passive. Oh, let me please. He was tough on me unnecessarily, not required, going beyond what he should. And I'm like, no, he's my boss. Let me please him. Please, boss. Now you come, no. Okay. Anyway, so the incident goes like this. So the first day he said, can you please inform the chai fellow to get me some chai? I said, sure, I can. So I went to that guy. I said, hey, look, that person, my boss, wants chai. Make some nice chai for him. He is rude to me. And what am I telling this chai guy? Make some good chai for him. Second day he calls. He says, Faheem, chai, please. I say, okay. Third day he comes to his cabin. He says, Faheem, chai, please. I say, okay. Fourth day, fifth day, sixth day. Then one day he comes and he says, Faheem. I say, yes. Next time when I'm in my cabin, you know what is to be done, right? I'm like, chai? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's not my JD. I'm a manager. He made me a peon, man. He made me like an office boy. He made me run around. He was extremely aggressive. He knew how to, frame it. And that day, I was like, oh my God. See, God, please, how can you do this? I was extremely good at what I do. People management, zero. That's when I learned that unless until you become assertive in life, it's very difficult for you to succeed. Very difficult. You will see people who have worked less than you succeed in front of you. You will see people who have, who you have worked for the project, taking that credit and happily walking away. And you will stay passive. Your night's prayer, which is supposed to be the most powerful prayers, will not change unless until you want to change yourself. I want you to do an activity. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Close. It's okay. Hey, don't smile. Close. Good. Now tell yourself, my life, my responsibility. Things around me will not change till I change. My life, my responsibility. Open your eyes. Keep repeating this mantra. Gone are the days when Jibreel used to come down. It is now you. It's now you who will do it, right? So now we are talking, now that we understand what is this assertive communication or assertive nature, let me tell you how this is done. Okay, let me give you an example on how this is done, okay, in day-to-day life. Let me go ahead and give you a, like I always speak about the 3 circles, okay. Let me go ahead and help you understand with a casual example, with a social example. It's a very popular example that I always use during my training programs. So just think of this. One day morning when I was leaving home, my usual thing is I leave from home at 9 o'clock. I reach office by 10. I work till 7 or 8 in the evening, and 8 o'clock I finish my work, and 9 o'clock I get back home. So that's how my working usually nowadays is. So once when I was leaving home at 9 o'clock, my wife says, "Hey, can you come back, honey, can you come back home today early?" And I'll say, "I'll try." I'll try. Very, very popular statement among us, right? "I will try, honey." And I went. So I started working at the office, and I saw the clock. It was 7 o'clock already. I said, "Oh, you know what? I thought I had said I will try coming early today back home." So I said, "Okay, let me quickly wrap up the bag." So instead of leaving at 8 o'clock, I left the office at 7 o'clock and reached home 1 hour early. 1 hour early. It was early. I kept my promise. So I thought, my wife will open the door and she will actually love me. She'll say, "Oh, so sweet of you. You came early." But when I reached home, something really opposite to that happened. What happened was, she was furious on me. She is like not talking to me. She's like, not one thing you can do in life properly. I'm like, "What the heck? I came in early for you." And she said, "What's the purpose of coming at 8 o'clock, when you were supposed to be here at 6? I said, "Hey, look, I did not tell you the timing." She said, "I don't care. I told you to come early." I said, "I came early," and there was big blast. This is basically miscommunication. I'll tell you as an assertive guy what I should have done. Okay, and this is a very common scenario, right? Very, very common scenario, right? Let me tell you what I should have done. And before that, let me tell you. I'll try is the most dangerous statement that you can ever make. Is the most misleading statement that I can ever make. I will try. What the heck are you going to try? What are you going to try? Okay. So how should it actually go? Reversing. Going back, rewinding. Okay. My wife says, when I was leaving the office, when I was leaving home for the office, my wife says, "Honey, can you come back home early?" First thing, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Unless until we acknowledge, how does the other person know that you are listening? What is acknowledgement? Acknowledgement is the opposite of majority of the times what we do. Staring. Acknowledgement can be okay, I got it, yes, sure. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. When somebody is talking to you, acknowledge. God has given us this head which moves any direction we want, is to acknowledge. No, yes, maybe, Honey, can you come back home early today? Sure. Not I will try. Sure. Sure. But that is not the complete message. Sure. Then probe. Sure, I can. But what's the occasion? What's the occasion? If you try to directly jump without the acknowledgement, then you will sound rude. Like a wife says, "Honey, can you come back early?" And you're like, "Why?" She's like, "Sky is very high, just come back." So you got to acknowledge. You're saying, "Oh yeah, sure, why not? Sure. what's the occasion? Why do you want me to come back early? And she says, then she says, guests are coming home. Ha, guests are coming home. So, you're collecting the, okay, but before that, your guests are coming home. Great. Okay. So what time are they coming home? You're probing, again acknowledging, oh really, your guests are coming home. Who's coming home? Oh, my mother. Then I don't want to come. No, just joking. Okay. She says, oh, you know what, the old family friends, for example, our old family friends, for example, Umesh and Preeti are coming back home. Coming home for dinner. I said, great. Okay, so I acknowledge, I probed, I found out the information. Now, I'm going to do something very, very critical. I'm going to set expectation. I'm going to set expectation. Now, what is my setting expectation? I have acknowledged, I have probed, I've got the information. I'm setting expectation, saying, look, what time, and I ask them, what time are they coming? She says, they're going to be here by 6 o'clock. Setting expectation. I say, I understand that you have called them for dinner and you have called them a little early, 6 o'clock. I'll have to go to the office. I'll have to check if there are no important meetings. I will come early. And she said, no, you have to come. I said, listen, setting expectation, I will be able to come only by 7:30, 7 p.m. What time? 7 p.m. I can come back only by 7 p.m. So it goes like this, the flow goes like this. Sure, I can definitely, make it. So why do you want me to come early? Says, Umesh and Preeti are coming home for dinner. Oh wow, that's nice. That's really nice. That's very sweet couple. So, okay, I'll go to the office. I will wrap up my stuff early and I'll come back by 7 p.m. And she says, oh, that's not good because they are going to be here by 7. Okay, so that's where you're going to go ahead and offer something called alternate solution. What is alternate solution? One solution is she can call up the guest because she's invited them and say, look, we would encourage or we would appreciate, or if you can make it by 8 o'clock, that would be great. Instead of 6, 7, make it at 8. Faheem and I are outside or whatever, 8. So my wife says, oh, no. Alternate solution number 1 doesn't work. I cannot tell them, no, don't come home. I'm not asking you to not call them home. I'm just telling them, call them home at 8 o'clock. She said, no, that looks very embarrassing. No, I cannot. I said, okay, alternate solution number 2. Then you do one thing. Whatever basic work you have to do, you do it before they come. And as they come, engage them for 1 hour. If they are here by 6, I'll come back by 7. But between 6 and 7, you will have to engage them. When I come back by 7, I will engage them. Then you can go to the kitchen and prepare the other stuff. She says, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That I can do. So great. And if that fails, then probably you'll have to probe again and try to find out more solutions from her. But in this case, let's say, yeah, that's a good idea. I can do that. But 7 o'clock, will you be here? Yeah, 7, maximum 7:15. Imagine that day how peaceful it would be. I go to the office, I schedule my work, I leave my office by 6:30. Assume that I don't reach by 7, but I reach by 7:15. She's still fine. I ring the bell, ching tong, she opens, Umesh and Preeti are sitting there. I say, hi Umesh, hi Preeti. Sit with them for 5 minutes, go to the, then change, freshen up, come back and spend some time with them. How does this look now? The whole idea is acknowledge, probe, set expectation, alternate solution. Now this might loop. That's okay. But this is how it normally goes. Now this is one of the characteristics of assertive person. And beyond this, I have set of other very important. Now this is a very social example that I gave you. Now let's say we are talking about something in professional. So let's go ahead and find out how do you handle this in a professional scenario. Before that, any questions anybody has on how does this work and all that? Yeah. Can you please pass on the mic to him? Yeah.